everybody, it's me, Rebecca, the Bexa boss lady. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to do a video about this for a while, but there was recently an article in Wired magazine that featured one of my reseller friends, Rachel. She is Exo Rachel on Instagram. And it was an interesting article about making six figures and if you can do a full-time living on Poshmark, which I found very interesting because the more and more that people are posting YouTube videos, the more and more I'm realizing how much people are embellishing or not telling the full picture of what their sales really are. And I don't want anyone to think that I am downplaying a six-figure seller, because if you have sold six figures on Poshmark, you have worked your tail off. And I know that as a six-figure seller on Poshmark, how hard it is to keep up with the listings, do all the work, sharing, listing, pictures, photographs, shipping, all of that kind of stuff. In no means am I trying to downplay or make a six-figure sales total, minimize it. I don't want to minimize it. I want everyone to know that it's really hard work. I just think that there's a lot of information that isn't told, and people aren't being totally truthful about, what is required of their time, what else they are actually paying for, do they have help, where are they getting their inventory, how are they sourcing. So I really believe that, yes, there are people making six figures on Poshmark. Like I said, I have made six figures on Poshmark. However, it has been over a few years. It was not in 1 year. I actually make more money on eBay than I do on Poshmark, and I have multiple streams of income. So even though it's only a little bit, I make some money off of this YouTube channel. I have a blog. I have affiliates that I make money off of. I sell on 5 different websites. It's not just one thing that I'm making money from. It's not just Poshmark. And there's a lot of people that I see that will be in Facebook groups and they're talking about, oh, I just quit my job and I'm going to sell on Poshmark full time. And then 6 months later, they're looking for jobs because they didn't consider all of the costs and everything associated with selling on there. And I think there's this false narrative that you are going to list a bunch of stuff on there and make a lot of money. And that's just not true. And if you followed me for a while, you've seen in my videos when I do like what my profit breakdown has been, I'm not making thousands and thousands of dollars a month on Poshmark. It's a couple thousand, which is great. And don't get me wrong, it definitely helps. And when I was really, really sick, it was income coming in for our family, which I wouldn't trade for the world. But there's no way I could have lived off of that income, off of the one income that I was earning. All right, let's break this down with some very basic math. You sell $100,000 on Poshmark. Poshmark takes 20%. Now you're at $80,000, right? You have a cost of goods. So I just used kind of my numbers for an example. So I gave it $5 for cost of goods, and I estimated that you would sell about 3,000 items, right? So now you are down to $65,000. Right? So 80,000 minus 15,000 is 65,000. Then you have to subtract whatever current inventory that you have, that you've purchased. And you have to think about what upcoming inventory you're going to purchase. Let's just say you have $3,000 worth of inventory currently, which I didn't include inventory that you are planning on buying in the future, right? So now we're at $62,000. And then you usually have, a bunch of inventory that is damaged or you didn't look at completely. I'll just put that at 1,000. So we're at 61,000 supplies, bins and tissue paper and shelving units, storage units, all of this stuff all add up once you start selling at a much higher volume. You need to purchase more things to get your system organized. So let's just say you have a storage unit, you have bins, you have hangers, you have a steamer, you have racks, you have all of this stuff. And we're just going to say, this is very low, but I'm just going to say $2,000. We're at $59,000. Then average, take about 30% out of that for self-employment taxes, state taxes, local taxes, all the taxes. And we're at $41,300. Obviously, if all sorts of other stuff happen, that 41,000 can be dwindled down. Now you're looking at, let's just say we'll give like a $5,000 buffer. Who knows what might come up. I also didn't include health insurance in here. Now you're at about $36,000. So from $100,000, you actually, in your pocket, if you do it this way, if you do it the correct way and pay taxes and all of that stuff, you're looking at, about 30 to 40, maybe 45,000 a year, which is great. It is great. That is a great income if that's what you need to make and you can pay your bills on that. That's a great income. I think people get these like wide-eyed assumptions that six-figured sellers are these, we're making all this money and they're doing all this stuff and they're, buying all these things. And you'll notice what I want you to do the next time people are like sharing their numbers is you can either go in and look at their closet and look at their sales. Because if you were going to do this math with, let's say you only pay $1 for your items and you've sold 10,000 items. I mean, can you imagine how much work it is to list 10,000 items to hit 100,000 sales? That's crazy. That's a lot of work. It's a huge undertaking. You have to, where are you going to put all of those items? So there's more overhead involved. Likely you'd have to hire someone. So if you hire someone, then that goes into your costs also. So if we're talking about six figures, it's just very interesting to see what it actually looks like when you break it down. We see all these videos, we see all these people on YouTube and they're like, I'm making all this money and, I sold all this stuff and here's all my boxes and here's everything I shipped. And there's nothing that kills me more is when I see a seller with like all of these huge boxes and then you go to their sales and it's like $5 and $10 items. Again, it's great, but it's this perceived value or perceived notion that they're making a lot of money on this platform, and the platform actually encourages it. They want you to post your posh packages, they want you to share your success stories, they want you to share how good you are at Poshmark or how much you're selling at Poshmark or how much Poshmark has saved your life, made your life better. But the reality is it's a lot of work, and the platform wants to say it loves their sellers, but do they? They love making money. They're going to file for an IPO, which, obviously, why wouldn't they? They're a huge company. But when it comes down to it, you are not in control of your platform. They are in control of their platform. They're in control of your business, essentially, if you're hosting your business on there. There's multiple reasons to have different platforms if you're going to sell online. What if one kicks you off? If for some reason you sell something and you didn't know it was fake, but they determined it was fake. And then, now you've lost all of your income, you've lost your inventory, you've lost your ability to sell. And I've seen this happen a lot to Etsy sellers because there's a lot of Etsy sellers that are selling homemade stuff. They're not really selling on other platforms. And unfortunately, Etsy is notorious for just shutting down and banning people from selling on there. You are going to have a store, especially your own store. Make sure that you are doing it on multiple fronts to be able to earn the extra income from the multiple streams of revenue, but also to protect yourself and your business over what could happen in the future. I mean, you just never know what could happen that would just eliminate your business on one of these platforms. There are options to do. You can do Spotify, you can do things like that. But the downfall with doing Spotify is that you have to bring all the traffic to yourself. You have to do all the SEO, you have to do all the listing, you have to deal with all the customer support. I mean, there's pros and cons for having your business on these platforms. Do I think Poshmark is a realistic full-time business? It depends. Every time I go to PoshFest, in my recaps, I end up saying the exact same thing. Where are the business tools? Where are the people to teach you how to scale your business, how to make more money, how to earn an actual living on the platform? It's always, show each other love. Here's how you take a picture. Here's how you work Instagram. It's never here's how to truly build a business. I think on eBay and especially eBay, they are more focused in helping you as far as like scaling and things like that. I'm not on eBay every day sharing 3,000 items, taking up a huge amount of my time for little to no return sometimes. You can scale much quicker. When you have all these other tools, you have all this stuff available to you, but also the ease of Poshmark is easy. And yes, it takes a little more work to learn how to sell on eBay, but I think there's the pros outweigh the cons, especially if you're trying to build like a full-time business. Now, don't get me wrong. There are true six-figure yearly sellers on Poshmark. And a lot of them have spent a lot of time and a lot of years building their brand. I mean, you guys may know the Deal Queen, Oscar Lady, Empty Hanger. All of those ladies have spent years building their brands on not only on Poshmark, but on Instagram, on social media, on YouTube. They are building their platforms to help sell their stuff. Can you sell six figures without having a platform? Sure. But a lot of those people are selling, stuff from China, or they're selling wholesale. They're buying pallets and they're just selling to fire sale stuff off. I do think you can do it. Do I think it's going to be hard as heck? Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of hours. Do you have to share your stuff all the time? No. Is it annoying? Yes. But, for smaller sellers, if you want your stuff to be seen, that's why they encourage it. This is just my personal opinion. I believe that sharing on the app shows that people are using the app. They are, the founders are not stupid. They are building this for a business to, ultimately have an IPO. And for that, you need to show that there are users, there are new users, the users are coming back, they're on the app, they're spending time on the app, they're logging in, they're sharing. And all this sharing stuff, all it does is show how many users are engaged and logging into the platform. If you think about it, all of the sharing that you're doing, and they want you to share other people's closets, which, by the way, I mean, that's great and that's nice, but sharing other people's closets aren't going to help your items get shared. You should always share your own stuff before you share other people's. That is priority number one. Just in case you're not aware of that, that's the way it should be. What else do I want to say about those? Looking at the article from wired.com, which I will share the link to this article in the description of this video, you'll see that Poshmark can eat you alive. It can make you exhausted. You're going to be on your phone all the time, or your iPad or your computer. And what is it worth? Is it worth it to you to do that and have the freedom and, be out in the thrift stores and be constantly looking for inventory? If it is, and you're going to hustle and you're going to do it, then go for it. I think it's great. But I just want to make sure that there are realistic expectations for what you can expect from the app. I thought it was very interesting to see that the seller that they mentioned in the Wired app, she said she bought $7,000 in inventory. That's crazy. Flew across the country, bought all this inventory, sent it all back. And she never really talked about in the article whether she made her money back or not. So that's a lot of money to be spending on inventory at one time to not be recouping that. Reselling is great. But look at this year. This year has been a literal poop show. I mean, it has just been a crazy, messed up, unpredictable year. And it has taken a hit on a lot of people's sales. Can you, as a six-figure seller who's an LLC by yourself, or, with a partner or family or whoever you're doing, can your business support these lulls and the highs? Can your business support a year like this year? That's the other thing to consider, is that, when reselling's great and it gets a lot of press and publicity and you're making all this money, it's really super fun. But when the economy tanks and everyone's holding on to their dollars because they're losing their jobs in the millions and there's a pandemic, can your business weather the storm? So you also want to make sure that you have a backup plan, or at least a buffer, some kind of, account that will help you transition you from the highs to the lows, right? If you are truly a six-figure seller, truly, honestly, you sell six figures a year on Poshmark, please just comment below. I would love to take a look at your closet and see what you're selling. I'm always interested in, what is happening with other sellers. How are they doing it? I think it's important to, even showcase other people to say, yes, this person, it didn't work for, but there are X, Y, and Z people out there that it is working for. And I would love to hear your thoughts. So make sure you comment below, what your feelings are about this. If you've read the article, what do you think about it? And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.